Ford is building something huge. An all-new Powerstroke is coming out with numbers that are about to level up the Super Duty trucks. The segment is in the middle of a horsepower and torque war, and the blue oval isn't sitting on its hands waiting for the competition to catch up. The new 8-liter turbo diesel for the 2027 Super Duty is set to cement these trucks as the most capable rigs on the market. Here's what we know so far, the numbers it's about to deliver, and what it means for the whole heavy-duty segment. Join us as we explore the world of wheels. Subscribe now and buckle up for the adventure. Specs. When news about the new 8-liter Powerstroke engine broke, it sent shockwaves through the entire automotive world. This isn't just another engine refresh. This is Ford making a bold statement about the future of heavy-duty performance. What kind of specs to expect? The new turbo diesel could deliver up to 650 horsepower and 1,400 pound-feet of torque. With such numbers and proper tuning, the Super Duty can tow more than 40,000 pounds. If you hold a CDL, this engine is basically built with you in mind. But let's be real, for most truck owners, this is overkill. Just like the current 6.7-liter is too much for the average guy who tows his boat to the lake once a year and hauls some lumber around. So the question is, why build it? Here's the explanation. New Cummins for Ram Heavy Duty. The 6.7-liter Powerstroke is a workhorse. You can find these engines pushing 300,000 miles with regular maintenance, still running strong, still pulling hard. The Super Duty earned its reputation for a reason. That engine is bulletproof. So if you've got something that works that well, why mess with it? Over at Stellantis, or more specifically, Cummins, they're not just watching. About a year ago, word started leaking out of the pipeline. Cummins was cooking up something new, a 7.2-liter turbo diesel engine designed to match what the Powerstroke currently does. And in the best-case scenarios, maybe even beat it in a few areas. But Ford didn't wait around to see what Cummins could pull off. They decided to make an even bolder move. Instead of tweaking or refining the 6.7, they went nuclear with an all-new 8-liter drivetrain. With it, the blue oval isn't just staying ahead. They're creating a gap so wide that catching up becomes nearly impossible. Think about what that means strategically. Cummins is working on a 7.2-liter to match the current Powerstroke's performance. By the time that engine hits the market and gets sorted out and proven reliable, Ford will already be a few years deep into selling the 8-liter. It's a chess move. The blue oval looked at the threat and responded not by defending its position, but by moving the goalposts entirely. This is what happens when one manufacturer has the momentum and the confidence to keep pushing. Release date. Ford's aiming for 2027 to get the new 8-liter Powerstroke into customers' hands. That's the target. It sounds aggressive, but this is Ford and the heavy-duty trucks. They've got the manufacturing capacity and the experience to pull it off. The real variable here is what Cummins does. If Ram drops the 3500 with the new 7.2-liter turbo diesel first, expect Ford to respond quickly. When you've got a competitor breathing down your neck, things move faster. The Super Duty with the 8-liter mill could hit showrooms already in 2027 if Ram forces their hand. These trucks are going to cost more. Building the new engine is never cheap. But if you're running a heavy fleet or pulling serious weight day in and day out, if you really need that extra capability, the cost justifies itself. You're not paying for bragging rights. You're paying for capability you'll use. Also, Ford is going to roll out the engine in tiered configurations. The F350 and 450 are getting the full-fat version. 650 horsepower, 1,400 pound-feet of torque. That's the headline number the company's been shouting about. The F250 though gets a base setup with lower output. Ford hasn't actually told us what that entry-level version makes yet. They're keeping that close to the vest while they brag about the maximum. So we don't know if it's a modest bump or something still pretty serious. Anyhow, it will affect the final price. Thank you for watching. We look forward to seeing you next time.